This happened to me few months ago, and it's an experience I'll never forget. So sit back, turn off the lights, and get ready for a bone chilling tale from the heart of a dense forest. I needed a break from the city, so I decided to go on a solo camping trip. I found this spot in a dense dark forest, far from any signs of civilization. It seemed perfect for some peace and quiet. The first day was amazing. The air was fresh, the sounds of birds and rustling leaves were calming, and I felt completely at ease. As night fell, I set up my tent, lit a small fire, and settled in for what I hoped would be a relaxing evening. Around the midnight, as I sat by the fire, I started hearing some strange noises. At first, it was just the rustling of leaves and occasional snap of a tree. But then, the noises grew louder and closer. It sounded like footsteps, but heavier, almost like something big was moving through the tree. I tried to brush it off, convincing myself it was probably just a deer or some other animal. But then I heard a low growl. My heart began to race, and a cold sweat broke out on my forehead. I grabbed my flashlight and shone it into the darkness, but I couldn't see anything beyond the first few trees. Suddenly, I heard branches snapping much closer this time. My eyes strained to see through the darkness, and that's when I saw it. A shadowy figure moving between the trees. It was tall, impossibly tall, and its movements were unnaturally smooth. The figure stopped, and I could feel its eyes on me, even though I couldn't see its face. Deciding it was best to stay in my tent, I zipped it up tightly and tried to calm myself down. I must have dozed off because the next thing I knew, I was jolted awake by the sound of something scraping against my tent. It was a slow, deliberate sound, like claws dragging across the fabric. I held my breath, trying not to noise. The scratching continued, and then I heard the growl again. Only this time, it was right outside my tent. I knew I had to do something, but I was paralyzed with fear. I reached for my camping knife, the only weapon I had, and held it close. Then, just as suddenly as it started, the noise stopped. I waited for what felt like an eternity before unzipping the tent just enough to peek outside. The forest was eerily silent, and the fire had died down to embers, and I couldn't see anything out of the ordinary, but I knew something was out there. Just as I was about to retreat back into the tent, I heard a whisper, a soft chilling whisper that sent shivers down my spine. "You shouldn't be here," it said. I spun around, my flashlight flickering, but saw nothing. The whispering continued, coming from all directions, growing louder and more insistent. "Leave now, or you will never leave at all." I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. As soon as the first light of dawn broke, I packed up my things and got out of there as fast as I could. On my way back, I found strange tracks in the dirt, unlike any animal tracks I'd ever seen. They were large and had a clawed pattern that sent shivers down my spine. To this day, I don't know what was out there in the forest. I haven't been camping since, and I don't think I ever will again. So if you ever decided to go camping in a dense dark forest, be careful. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.